Tanker secondaries. We're gonna start from the top. Battle Axe. Battle Axe is a really interesting, high damaging, or I'm pretty sure it's a high damaging. Yeah, it's high damaging, but it's kind of a uh, slow animation set. It has a build up. Not too much else to say. A little bit of AoE, pretty decent single target. People like it because you get to use an axe to fight, and it's really, I think that's cool. Just using weapon sets for fighting, but not too much else to say. One more thing I do have to say though, just for all secondary sets, you always have to pick the first power that's secondary. I don't think I've mentioned that before. For most ATs, that's not really a problem, but for tankers, the first power in every of their secondaries is almost never needed. So that's just a huge, just not a huge, just I'm not even sure what to call it. A huge disadvantage for tankers that they have to grab that first power in the secondary. Anyways, we're gonna move on. I think we've seen Dark Melee. Yeah, we've seen Dual Blades. We've seen Elec Melee. I don't think we've seen Energy Melee. Energy Melee is supposed to be one of the most damage-heavy single-target attacking power sets in the game. It not too recently got nerfed though, so things like Energy Transfer, which was super good, isn't as good anymore. It's got build up. It does a lot of disorient mez, so it'll make it so you stun your enemies, just like this power says. Not too much else to say. Just like the name says, it does a lot of energy damage plus smashing. Not too much else. Really poor in the AoE department too. We've seen Fiery Melee, Ice Melee, very similar to the Blaster Ice Melee actually, except this one has a taunt, and this one has Ice Melee for tankers is a really big control power set. Does a lot of slows. Has like Ice Patch, which does knockdown, I believe. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Ice Melee. Not too huge in the damage department. Lots of single target actually, but not too much in the AoE. Ice isn't very popular, I should say. Probably one of the least popular of the tank secondary sets. Going on, we got Stone Melee. Stone Melee is really cool, but not the best tanker secondary, but it's still pretty cool. You get to have like stone fists and a stone like hammer pretty much as your weapons. You have a build up. You have some AoE potential, but not as much as the next power set I'm going to be going over. And I like the single target though. Stone Melee's cool. Not too much else to say. It's got disorient and it's got knockdown, just to help you tank. And oh, by the way, all tanker secondaries have just a taunt power installed into it. There's none that don't have that taunt power. And the taunt basically makes it so you use it on an enemy and they'll be forced to attack you. Basic stuff. Going on, we got Super Strength. Super Strength. It's like a Superman Super Strength, except not quite, but you punch people with your fists of death, and it does lots of damage. It does pure smashing damage. So instead of build up, you get Rage. Rage is the power that you click for, I think, I'm not sure, maybe like a minute and a half. You have a damage bonus, but after the rage subsides, you are left weakened, reduced defense, and it drains about, I think, a quarter of your endurance bar, so it's a trade-off. Rage is really good though. One of the key powers though in this is Foot Stomp. Foot Stomp is very self-explanatory. You stomp the ground. It does huge amounts of damage in just the AoE around yourself with the Foot Stomp. People love Super Strength. I like Super Strength. Not too much else to say. Just pure smashing damage though. So you can expect your damage type is going to be resistive a lot, but you'll still do lots of damage. Super Strength is great. Last but not least, we have War Mace. War Mace is like a faster version of Battle Axe, I'd almost say. It's or maybe like it's a little bit of a faster counterpart to Battle Axe that does more AoE but less single targets. Mace is, you get to use a mace as a weapon, and that's cool, I guess. It's got typical taunt power, typical build up. Not too much else to say about it. It does some disorient, mostly disorient powers as well, and maybe a couple of knockup powers as far as helping you damage, as far as helping damage mitigation. Other than that, not too much else to say. That's all for this episode. If you guys like what you're seeing, feel free to subscribe and leave comments, suggestions, questions, whatever. This is Elpreed. Thanks for watching, people.